Hey, it's Sri here. In today's video, I'm going to talk you through two really important points that are going to really help you to be able to move forward in your relationship or marriage and really get it to turn around from its current situation. And make sure you watch this entire video because it's got some really important points that are going to help you throughout 2023. And I'll give you a couple of steps and strategies that you can begin to implement immediately. They're going to help you to really make progress and get the sort of results that some of my clients like Laurie and Angie and Sarah and Michelle and all these incredible women who've been able to turn their marriage around and create incredible shifts. So as I said, make sure you watch this entire video, and I will also give you a free gift at the end of the video, which I know you're going to really love. And make sure you hit that subscribe button below and click on that bell notification as well, so every week you get access to my latest videos where I talk you through a little bit more about understanding male psychology in marriages, how to heal from infidelity, and manage your way through a really difficult time in your marriage. Now, I get it, going through a relationship or marriage where it's potentially on the rocks, or there's a possible divorce looming, can be so painful. And trying to maintain clarity of mind during these times is extremely difficult. We find it hard enough to maintain clarity in other everyday scenarios, let alone when our marriage is literally at the end of its rope. And that's kind of why I shoot these videos, because I want to help you to find that clarity. And the other day I was actually speaking to a couple of my clients, and we were talking through some of their scenarios, and I asked one of them in particular, I said, what is it that you actually want to experience with your husband? Where are you wanting to get to with him? And she had this lovely list of things that she wanted to experience. I want to connect with him at a deeper level. I really want to make sure that we're spending a lot of quality time together. I really want to make sure that we're sharing everything with each other, that we're able to go really deep with each other, and so on. And they were lovely. I listened to them. I think that's a beautiful place. I always say that if you can get depth in a marriage, that's always a sure sign of something that is actually going to potentially stand the test of time. So we always want to make sure that we're going into a level of depth with our husband or partner. However, I did challenge her a little bit. And this kind of leads me to the first point I wanted to make in terms of this video, is that nowhere on her list did she really talk much about joy, happiness, lightness, fun, and really experiencing the zest of life. Absolutely, we want to have depth. There's no doubt in my mind that that's an important component. In fact, even with my marriage, the depth that me and my wife have is what I believe lays the platform for our future. It means that no one on this planet can come close to developing the sort of connection that we have. So depth is really important. However, I also was having a conversation with a few friends of mine the other day just about relationships, and they were talking about how in relationships, when there's too much intensity, when there's always this heaviness where you're always wanting to share everything all the time and communicate things all the time and go deep into each other and so on, it can feel really claustrophobic, and it can feel quite scary. For a lot of guys, it's actually quite a scary place to be able to unload and offload some of their own challenges. Because as men, we're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be, really the rock in the relationship. And then suddenly, if we're having to, share those things all the time, it makes us feel a little bit weak sometimes. It makes men get to a place where they can't connect with their own strength. And when I say strength, I'm not meaning physical strength, I'm talking more about emotional strength. We're supposed to be the rock, and we're sharing all these things that are making us feel vulnerable and potentially scared and fearful, then it's going to create this sense of almost weakness on the inside. Now, not every man is going to perceive it that way, but a lot of people who are in that position do find that experience. And so what it kind of highlighted to me there was the importance of trying to find some joy and some laughter and some light in the relationship. We need to be doing that more. There needs to be more of that fun, craziness in the relationship. When I say craziness, I just mean being playful, being silly, doing stupid things, being spontaneous. It's such an important part of a relationship. Some of the best relationships and marriages that I've seen before have come when people do the most stupid things. And I say stupid in a nice way. It's just really fun. It's playful, as I said. I remember speaking to a client, and her and her partner, as soon as they walk into the house, or if one of them walks in, they're like, "Honey, I'm home." And they all run around the house chasing after each other and just doing these really, really silly things. But it's so fun and they love it, and it's their time to connect. When we're actually having those moments of playfulness and silliness, it actually allows us to connect even more, even deeper. Why? Because what it does for a man and a woman as well in these situations is it creates a positive neuroassociation with that person. So when that person thinks of spending time with their wife or their husband, immediately it's, yay, this is going to be fun. Rather than, oh no, when I catch up with her, it's going to be a real drag and we're going to talk through all that heavy stuff. You see the difference? It is such a difference. It is massive. I mean, years ago, I remember dating this girl, and she was lovely, a really lovely person. But what I found was every day I'd be getting some message about, like, can we talk? Or, we need to talk about this, or we need to talk about that. And it'd be at awkward times when I'd be busy at work or whatever. And then suddenly we'd have this conversation about things that were important in her eyes, but for me, I just thought they were quite simple and easily resolved. But it became this really heavy thing all the time. And after a while, I just felt like, look, this is just too much. I actually can't handle this. It becomes too difficult to engage in. And that's why it's so important to, really create that lightness in the marriage, to not always burden someone with the heaviness, with these deeper conversations. It's actually really good to create some spontaneity and some laughter and some light and just some fun in the marriage as well. It's really important. So just to be clear, make sure that you're engaging in some of those fun activities and balance it out with some of the heavier stuff and the deeper stuff as well. And the more you do that, the more you're actually going to create fun, aliveness, passion, joy, happiness. That's really the foundations of a high quality marriage. So make sure you're engaging in that lightness. And the second thing I wanted to talk about was in relation to actually the goals that you have in your relationship or your marriage. At this time of year, everyone's gung-ho about making sure that they set particular goals and try and achieve them. And statistics show that January 15th is the cutoff date. The cutoff date meaning that by the 15th of Jan, most people have already broken the New Year's resolution. And it's a bit of a scary fact, but it's the truth. We think about a lot of people, January the 1st, the gym is pumping, there's lots of people there, and you can slowly start to see a bit of a decline come the middle of the month. And when it comes to goal setting, and I know, a lot of you will be experiencing a lot of pain in your relationship or your marriage right now, and you might be thinking, what's goal setting got to do with it? But just bear with me for a second, because this is actually going to help you a lot. When we're in a tough time in our marriage, and we're wanting to get our marriage to maybe where it was 10 years ago or 5 years ago, the problem is that in the moment, because you're experiencing a lot of pain, our brain will always go and focus on the areas that are problematic and put all our energy into it. And so when we're setting goals, a lot of the time it's, I want to stop communicating poorly with him. I want to stop, getting into arguments with him. I want to stop, always being disconnected with him, rather than where you actually want to get to. It's almost like when people are setting goals around finances. They say, I want to get rid of my debt. If you're always, the brain can't process negatives. So if you're always focusing on debt, even if it's avoiding debt or, removing your debt, the brain's always processing the word debt. So it thinks, okay, well, I want debt. So what do? You get more debt. Rather than, I want to get to a place of abundance. I want to have X amount of money by the end of the year, or I want to earn X amount of money, whatever it is. And this is just a simple example because it's an example that I think a lot of people have to experience. So whenever it comes to your goals, whatever it is that you want to experience, focus on, where do I want to go with this man? You know, do I want to create more of that lightness that I talked about in the previous point? Do I want to improve our intimacy? Do I want to improve our communication, really get to a beautiful place where we're connecting on a deeper level, but also having the playfulness and the lightness and so on? Where am I wanting to go? And I want to put my energy into that, rather than how can I avoid or get away from the things that have been not working so well. Now, some of you might be sitting there going, but hang on, I'm facing a separation right now. And if you are, firstly, my heart goes out to you. But secondly, the same rules still apply. Where do you want to get to? What's the place, what's the destination that you want to get to? If you want to improve your marriage, fantastic. What does that look like? Where do I want to get to? I recall years ago watching a video, and it was from a person that was teaching people how to do like stunt driving. And they were talking about how to avoid crashes. So for example, if you're driving and you lose control and you're going straight towards a post, what do you do to avoid the post? Now, what most people do is they focus on the actual obstacle right in front of them. So they think of the post, they're focusing on the post. So what do? They hit the post. But if you actually focus on where you need to go, they actually demonstrated how you actually have a far greater chance of avoiding the post and getting to where you need to go rather than hitting that post. It was incredible. And if we use that as an analogy, it's the same sort of thing when it comes to our marriage or relationship or even our own self or in any area of our lives. Where do you want to go? What's the actual path that you want to go down? What's the goal that you've got in your mind? And focus on that in a positive way rather than avoiding the thing that you want to avoid. And that's super key to understand. And if you can do that and you apply that on a regular basis, it's going to make a huge difference in your ability to achieve your goals, your ability to be able to move forward and to progress and really have the life that you truly want. And I know that this is sort of touching on kind of overall life rather than just marriages, but I think it's all connected. I really believe that. You know, if you're in a beautiful place within yourself, then that's going to impact every area of your life. It's going to impact your relationship with your kids. It's going to impact your relationship with your husband. It's going to impact your career, your finances, health, everything. It all starts from within. And if I'm completely honest, I don't think enough people really understand that. I think people are so focused on their specific, just that one thing that they want that's external, rather than realizing that the way to achieve the external and shift the external is to actually shift the internal. And the other day I was just rereading a book that I'd read years ago, and it brought up a point which I have heard in lots of different books. And what it is if you want to experience the things that you want to experience, you want to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, most people focus on, when I have what I want, now a simple example, let's say I get the relationship that I want, when I have that thing that I want, then I will do the things that I need to do, and then I'll become the person I need to be. Another example of this, people say, well, once I have the money that I want, then I'll do the things that I need to do, i.e. philanthropy or help other people or, get the things that I want to get. And then I'll become the person I want to be in terms of maintaining an abundant mindset or whatever. But it actually works in reverse. You have to become the person you need to become to then do the things that you need to do in order to have the things that you want. So it's actually be, do, have, rather than have, do, and be. Does that make sense? Because that is the key to all sort of manifestation and drawing things into your life. And we're so focused on the thing that we want on the outside, and that's all we care about. We're trying to get that one thing, and once I get that thing, then I'll do the things that I need to do, and then I'll become the person I need to be. It'll always end up being a flop. But if you focus on, who do I need to become in order to have that special relationship? And that's where the inner work is so important. And I think sometimes people just miss the boat a little bit on doing the work that they need to do on the inside. It is everything. That is where the transformation lies. It's not some hocus pocus idea. It is the real deal. If you shift who you become, if you shift your identity of who you feel you are and become the person that you know that is inside of you at the deepest part of yourself, then you're going to take action that you've never taken. And then you're going to start getting the things that you've never gotten. So my urge to you for 2023 is to begin by focusing on shifting your inner world. And to do that, you've got to make a decision. You've got to make a decision internally that says, this is the most important thing for me right now. If I don't shift me, nothing shifts. And I know it's a bit of a harsh sort of way of saying it, but it's the truth. Nothing changes until we change. And a quick way of doing that, just to start with, to get some momentum, is just stand in front of the mirror for a couple of minutes in the morning and just say, I am X, I am Y, I am love, I am joy, I am happiness. Whoever you want to become, focus on being that person right now. Because if you be that person right now, the circumstances will start to orchestrate themselves in a way where the universe, God, whatever you subscribe to, will start to work its way towards helping you maintain and retain that identity of who you believe you are. And it's such a powerful approach and something that's had a huge impact on the quality of my life as well. So if you are in a place though where you're a little bit stuck, you're not sure what to do, you don't know how to kind of engage in some of these steps that I'm talking about, then I'd love to be of service to you through my program, the Authentic Relationship System, which is a very holistic program. It's going to help you tremendously in your marriage, in your relationship, within yourself. It's going to help you to heal from infidelity. It's going to help you to deal with separations, or if you are on the verge of a divorce, help you to navigate your way through that, or do your best to save your marriage as well. But equally what it's going to do is going to help you in all areas of your life, because it's going to shift you. And as it shifts you, all areas are going to shift as well. It's a really powerful program, something that I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours putting together, and I want you to have that same experience that so many of my clients have as well. So if it's something that feels right for you, if you connect with my work, if you really want to make a change for 2023, then all you need to do is in the description section below, just click on that link where it just says book a call with me. Just click on that link, choose a time that works for you, and then I'll contact you at that scheduled time, just so I can learn a little bit more about your situation, where you're at right now, where you want to get to, and how we can bridge that gap through the use of some of the tools and techniques that you can learn as well. I really can't wait to be of service to you. If you do have any questions for this video as well, make sure you pop them below and I'll respond to all of them as well. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit the like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. And do let me know what your biggest takeaway is as well. Just make sure you post them in the comment section below and I'll go through and respond to every single one of you as well. And if you want to learn whether no contact is the right approach for your marriage, click this video above. And if you want to learn how to get your husband to love you again, click this video above. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next video.